Flosstube friends, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 239. If you're a new friend to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by, seeing what we got going on for this week. And if you're a returning friend, thank you so much for coming by again this week to catch up and see what's been going on. I love our visits. So let's get into this. All right, so for this week, I want to, at the very beginning of this, talk to you about Mental Health May, which is right around the corner. I have mentioned this before. I'm going to put a picture up here. Athena, Stitching Goddess Design, my friend that makes t-shirts, has a special one out for Mental Health May. She's did a collaboration with the 614 Stitchers. So please, if you're interested in a t-shirt, shoot on over to her website, which is brand new, and get yourself this wonderful mental health shirt. The hearts are customizable based on what mental illness or health one you want to highlight. So go check her out. Beautiful, beautiful design and an awesome idea to give those hearts different colors for what they represent. So also into other things on this channel, as a reminder, I've already sent them. April's out. I mean, I just sent them out. But if you haven't filled out the Happy Mail form and you would like to randomly be sent a Happy Mail form, please send that out. In the it's listed in my description box below, along with a lot of other goodness and friends that do online stuff. So please don't hesitate to check that out. And along that lines, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. I would just love for my channel to continue to grow and other people see what we got going on over here and what this lovely community is. So thank you if you do that for me. All right, one of the things we do on this channel is the Featured Friend segment. So many of you love this so much. I get so many positive feedbacks, and this time we are showing the stitching of my friend Christine, who is the apothecary. There you go. I have to think. Apothecary Stitcher. She has her own channel on here, and she is a big full coverage stitcher mainly. She does dabble in some smallers also, but she is a wicked fast stitcher. And the ones I'm going to show you are like they've been, I think some of these were even clear back in the beginning or the end of last year, but I look forward to sharing them. She sent me quite a few to share with you, so I'm so excited to pop those on here. So we're going to start with the first one here. The first one we have is Night Cafe. It's a Heaven and Earth design. She stitched it on an 18 count Aida using 2 strands. This next one is Falling Snow by Shannon Christine. She hand dyed it herself. It's a 14 count Aida. She used pearls, delicate white beads, and sterling silver delicate beads, and royal blue and turquoise seed beads. So that whole thing is just beaded. It's super amazing. And she said, you can't believe how heavy it is because of it just being all beads. This next one here was fun to see her do. Dawn over New York City. It's stitched, Stitching Jewels Designs. It's 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count. And the next one we have a couple more, is Blue Umbrella by Artisy. She uses 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count. And her last one to share with us is Rosetta by Ink Circles. It's 2 strands, full cross, 32 count gray flamingo. Floss is what she used by Threadworks. And the border was done in DMC. So as you can see, very, very cool stitching. She loves her big pieces, and it's a joy to have like somebody else that does that. Like if I constantly think I want to dabble in that, and then I pull back. So I don't know. We'll see. But at least I have a good friend in my corner that can help guide me. So thank you very much for sharing those, Christine. We love seeing the variety of stitches on here, and you sure delivered. So, all right, you see, before we pop on, see who bopped up here to say hi. He's just hanging out with me in here. He has to sometimes take coverage from the big dog, so he hides in here when I record. All right, so what do we have stitching on this week? I have a couple finishes. I have a new start, and then my regular stitching for this week, and some stitching that I had hoped to get in and didn't get in. So this week for stitching with me, we had its ups and its downs. The frog definitely came to visit, so I'm happy with my progress, but that frog needs to move along. Maybe on, with it being Earth Day week, then he'll find another little pond to go visit. So that's how I see it. All right, so let's start in with my finishes. My first finish, hope you guys sit here. My first finish is the April Stocking by Blackworks Design. Blackbird Designs. It's out of the April book. It's the last one from this. And this is what it looks like. So April Showers is what it is. I love how it turned out. This color right here is like, I feel like it was Mountain Mist or something like that. So it has a blue and a gray, which is kind of perfect for the skies in April. Blue and gray. Today is a beautiful blue day. My next one, I told you I would probably have it in here for a finish. This was a piece that, oh, you can't jump on the stitching. This is a piece that I was stitching along. I had to stitch along with some girls, friends that had also the J initial. They both got theirs done, Janelle and Jessica, and I didn't, so, but I do now. I fully converted this into some Victorian mottos threads that I had, so this is not called for. It is called for with pinks and brights, and I just darkened it up. I keep asking everyone, this is the only thing that is like, I feel like it's too bright, but my daughter says it looks good, and we're gonna leave it. So this is what I am going to, we're gonna see if I can get this framed. We'll see. I don't think it'll be done and back in time, but look for the beauty to kick off the month of May, for Mental Health May. I am always usually a positive affirmation person. I have that in my life. I have one of those calendars that you rip off and gives you something positive every day. This is about beauty. It's just kind of how I look, kind of how I live my life. I do know there's a positive and a negative to every side, and I really just always try to find the positive in things because we just all need a little bit of love and good in our life. So when I can share it, I share it. All right, the next one that I'm stitching on is my Queen of Peace. This is what the cover chart will look like when it's completely done. I'm plugging away on this, and I'm happy with the coverage, but I am definitely stuck right now in the gray tone or the tan tones. It's amazing when I add pop-ups of colors to it, but then I'm like, oh, I might as well just get this done. So I follow rabbit holes, basically is what I'm telling you. So this is where she's looking at right now. And what I mean is, you can see it right here on camera a little bit, but where I work this time is down here. And it definitely blends in, but this gray is going to come around it. It will pop, but... so basically I did this little thing here and started this next chunk. This chunk comes down a little bit farther, and then I'm done with this. This is actually 30-33. So, and like I said, I just kind of grab rabbit holes. So if you are ever scared of memorabilia, that's what I mean. Like, for one, there's nothing... For me, there's nothing intimidating. It's just one X at a time, but it's also chunks of color. Like, you know, I outline this and then I just color it in. I outline it, I color it in. So most of her pieces are good about having like chunks of color. So that is my Queen of Peace. I'm sorry, folding her up so she's not wadded. I do wad them up sometimes, but I'm trying to be good today, I guess. My next piece that I stitched on, I do not have the cover piece with me right now, but it's Carolyn Manning's. And if you know anything about Carolyn Manning's, they're kind of repetitive and symmetrical, not symmetrical, but like, again, chunks of color. And this is the one for spring. So colors of the seasons, and this is the spring color. This one I don't know what my deal is. For one, this right here, this is what started it. This is 9 by 9. I made it 10 by 10 because like, just kind of how we roll in this world that we live in cross stitch, but I was wrong. So I had 10 by 10, and then I had done a bunch here, and then I started over here, and this didn't meet up. So I had to rip out once. And then like I'd put this one up here and I had to rip it out and move it over. So the frog, let's move on, frog. But I love the colors and the way they're popping, and it's definitely spring as all the flowers are popping. I had so many beautiful comments last week in regards to the flowers, whether they like daffodils or tulips or whatnot. So definitely spring colors. One of the things I miss about my old house, and I've lived here for 9 years now, or almost 9 years. And but my old house, I had I call them wild crocuses that just grew in my yard, and I always loved seeing those. And I don't have that here. All right, the next piece I have is I am part of Tiny Modernist Patreon because this chart came out, and I was like, I have to stitch this. So I went on and joined it. And I'll probably stick around for a few months. It's fun. I like her stitching. And this is an adorable piece. So the pieces here, part 1 and 2 have dropped, but I, of course, did not start it because I knew I wasn't going to stay up on this sow. But this sow is, I am getting it started. I started it for Earth Day. So this is not the call. There is no call for it. There's suggested colors. I pulled all the colors. Let me do this with you guys. I pulled all the colors, and I went completely rogue because they suggested like taupes and grays and I don't know. But what they suggested is not what I wanted to do. So, what in the blazes is going on here? All right. So, here, I know you're not going to get a perfect one. I'm trying to spread these out real quick because I want you to get a gist of the color schematics here. And I tested them all. It looks great. But I want to share with you because I went rogue. And the reason is because this is called Forest Friends. And I thought Forest Friends, yay! I thought Forest Friends would lead themselves to the forest environment for darker inside the forest. So this is called Laurel Linen or something like that. It's actually, when I bought it from my store, they told me that was a color for one of the mirror pieces. So super cute and so excited to work on that. So you'll be seeing that a lot in the month of the finish. Well, I'm going to work on it, of course, this week more. And maybe I'm not making promises, but I know it's going to get a lot of stitching in May. That's what I feel. I feel it. All right. The next piece I have for you is my Snowy, which is my Mini Monday. So this is Snowy Petites by Little House Needleworks. I have 2 of the 4 done. But I am here to tell you, I now have 3 of the 4 done. Yay! So this little guy is done. I'm down to 1 more, and my goal, and I'm throwing it out there because I want the snow one done before the, this particular snow one done before the beginning of May. So I have this week and a couple days next week. We'll see where I get on it. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. The next piece that I stitched on is What Wednesday, and What Wednesday for me for a while now has been year 3 of Frogwarts because I want this as a finish. I am so excited about where I got on it. This one did not have the rip outs. I did not have the rip outs on Wednesday last week, so Ribbit was visiting somewhere else on that day. Maybe I scared him into a bush, but he did come back out. So the Patronus here is what got finished. I love the coloring of them, of the Patronus. So I have 1 more big motif and words. So we'll see what I come at next week. I feel like right now visiting you, I'll probably do the words. I'll do a little bit of the orange here and maybe outline the next one. But we'll see when Wednesday really gets here what I do. But I don't want to leave all those orange things across the bottom for the end is what it comes down to. And 1 more stitch piece to show you. Oops, loud, sorry. This is my See ya, my Friday for the Grands. And I am clear down here on it, but let's just show you where I'm at because I was super happy on Friday because I knocked King Kong out. King Kong is done. Yes, so long, King Kong. I'll be moving on to my next one, which is called Blow a Kiss Goldfish. He's so cute. I was like, it had weird lighting. This is like 30, 52 and 30, 53. And if you've stitched with those before, they're like right there next to each other on purpose. But I was like, oh my gosh, did I pull the same one? But I did not. There's color. See, his little hands are different. His little mouth and the top right here. So yay. So happy with that. I am loving this piece. I have so many positive comments about that. And I get so many people to say, I didn't know that saying. And I love that. And like I've said before on here, there's even more sayings than that. But this pattern has these and that's what I'm stitching. And maybe I'll just learn the other ones. Probably not because I have to like see it to memorize. Because I still don't do it right even when I see it all the time. All right, that's my stitching for this week. That is it. That's all I got for stitching. I'm going to do things that kind of a little bit out of order of what I do in here, but nonetheless. So plans, what are my plans for this week? Well, off the top of my head, I can tell you my plans are the basics. The basics. I'll do my daily, I'll do my seasonal, and I'll do my 3 weekly ones that I do for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I did not, as I told you last week, I was going to work on Love Letters from Mom. It didn't call for me, and I have got to get my April piece done. So that has to call me this week. One of the stitches that I stitched and unstitched was a whip go call, and that was, and I really unstitched what I stitched, so that's why I didn't bring it here to show you, and that was Away We Ride. So we'll see if Love Letters from Mom and Away We Ride get in here. I was kind of feeling the stressors last week, and I was like, that is not what this is for, so calm down. I know it was a combination because the frog was here too, but nonetheless, we'll see. If you come back to visit me next week, what I got going on as far as stitching goes. All right, so I had no haul this week. I know that I'm going to have a tiny bit of haul next week because I believe they're in the mail to me. I got in on the Lindy Stitchy. She was having like a $2 off sale if you bought the new colors of Weeks Dye Works threads. So I was like, yes, please. So I know those are on the way, and I feel like I have a package coming from Tiny Hummingbird Stitchery. So I feel like those are definitely coming. But I want to tell you, I know that Pam uses this word that she's on a spending diet. Look, years ago, I read somewhere about the word diet and how it has such a negative, kind of like a negative thing in our brains. So on the side of my toolbox at work, I have the word diet, and it said, "Did you enrich today?" So see, I always try to turn a positive into it. So my diet per se of purchasing cross stitching is going to be because I fell down a rabbit hole thanks to the Taylor Swift release of her new album. I have slowly became a Swiftie. It started by watching the Eras tour on Disney with my daughter and stuff like that, and then it's kind of just exploded because like the more I watch her, the more I'm intrigued. And they told me that's how it all starts. So I'm telling you all this to tell you I bought her vinyl, and I don't even have a vinyl player, but yet it's on the way, and that is why I'm gonna, I mean, let's be real, I have plenty of stitching to stitch and still show you plenty, but for a tiny bit I'm going to I just am feeling like I want to have the music enrichment in my life also. So yeah. And my daughter had a vinyl player and it was not working. It got in her moves. Somehow it got jostled. Something happened. It doesn't work. My son had one too. It didn't work. And they both said they were very cheap ones. So, but my daughter had a couple of albums that were like inspired, like reminding us of my dad, her grandpa. So I was like, well, let me just add those to my collection. A collection has started. That is all this to tell you. A collection has started. You don't care about my vinyl. You're here for stitching. So there will probably not be any haul for a while because I just have a calling for music and that kind of therapy in my life also. So bring it. Got any recommendations other than my Taylor Swift ones? It's like Eagles and Bob Seger and Bruce Springsteen. I want to go get Purple Rain. My head is Shania Twain. My head's everywhere. All right. That's all I got. I talked about plans. I talked about my stitching and my purchases. So I'm going into personal life, even though that was a tiny bit of personal. So little extra this week. Personal life. On Saturday, I went on a hike with one of my best friends. I loved it so much. It was so good to get out. So northwest of me is, there's all kinds of state parks around here. And northwest of me is one called Chino Lake. My girlfriend works there. It was like an hour drive to get there, but all good. And we hiked. We did what they called a moderate trail. It was a 1.5 mile hike. I could have kept going. I just loved being out there. And there were mushroom hunters everywhere. I know nothing about mushrooms, but it was so amazing to see so many people out and enjoying that environment. So I look forward to doing that again. I have many state parks in the general vicinity of me. Probably within a mile, I have, an hour. I have the 1, 2, 6 that I can think of off the top of my head, and there's probably more. So lots of hiking trails. I even bought myself a new pair of hiking shoes to make sure that I have steady on my feet. Actually, to give you a funny, my daughter made me text her when I got out of the car and started the hike and when I got done. And I had to send her a screenshot to prove that my fall, like my emergency people would be alerted if I was in a fall. I'm not that old and whatever, but it's good to know that people worry about you. I have a group of friends on here that were also worried, and I was like telling them I was going out on the trail, and I forgot to tell them when I came back, so they needed a proof of life existence later on. So thank you for all the love and all the check-ins in regards to that. I did great. As far as the grandkids go, this last week I had each of them 1 day apiece, which was a blessing. I normally have been taking Ozzy 1 day a week just to give Lizzie a little break. And when I say a day, I mean like for a few hours. I'll go get her. Her and I will do errands together or whatever, and then I drop her back off before I go to work. So 3 hours-ish, but it just gives her a little breath of just like the one. Well, she was getting kind of stressed with little Miss Ozzy, and I was like, I think you need an Ozzy date instead of a Henry. She's like, she breastfeeds. I said, okay, here's what you're going to do. And this is what she did. She came to my house, she fed him, and then her and Ozzy took off and went to a little park south of here, and I kept Henry, and we did great and chit-chatted and solved all the world's problems while they were gone. And the kids Lizzie and Ozzy had the best little time at that new park they were checking out, and I was just happy to give that blessing. That is one of the things that I for sure learned from my mom. And to be honest with you, it was in her death when I was trying to pull cards or pull pictures for the memorial board that I realized what a blessing she had given to me throughout the stages of me being a single mom with Lizzie. And she made sure she took pictures and I was present. And when I was stressed, she was there to help. And then when I started dating my husband, again, they would be like, with no qualms, my parents would take Lizzie so that I could go on a date and know that my daughter was in a safe environment. So just here to pass on those blessings. That's what I'm here for. So, and about those blessings, if I have pictures, I have popped pictures in here. My husband and I acquired a playset from a neighbor that outgrew their playset because they're moving on, but it's perfect size. So he is sprucing it up. We power washed it off, staining it down, getting new gadgets that aren't like so cracked and brittly. And I can't wait to show you a picture when it's all done, but we're not there yet, but we're getting there. So that is what my life has entailed this week. I love sharing the little tidbits about my personal life. I don't always have great, amazing things going on, but when I have fun things that happen, I like to share. This week I have 0 plans. I have no appointments. It's kind of wonderful, but, and the sun is shining and that's all the great things. So, definitely a little colder, but the sun's out and spring is happening. So if that's what you enjoy and thrive with, please get out and enjoy it. So, I'm getting my walks in, I'm doing my things, and I hear the ringing of the dog collar. So it is probably time for me to get out and get a walk done now. I'm going to get off of here, let you get on to your next cross stitcher, and have a great week. So please keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.